I've spent the last year renovating my kitchen. Full disclosure, the fuck up fairy practically lives at my house. We'll keep track of her many visits as we go. The first part of any good renovation is of course the demo. Although it may seem as though I know what I'm doing, I do not. I had, however, just put a big hole in my house, so I figured I'd better fill that. I found some matching bricks on Marketplace and then brought them home to get them ready for install. Meanwhile, winter was just around the corner and it was starting to get cold inside. To keep the structure solid, I removed every other brick and then placed the new ones in place, and then proceeded to create the world's ugliest brick wall. Someone remind me to paint that later. So with my wall back in place, I was finally able to start sealing up the inside. I routed some plumbing and electrical and then broke my knife. And so it begins. Now it's important to note that I was still trying to use the kitchen at the time, so I ended up playing a bit of musical pantry while trying to bash my floor up. I have to remove this whole top layer to get it nice and smooth. Moving along, I have a wall again. I mean, only one, but it's a start. At this point I had to move out of the kitchen. It was just going to be too messy trying to pull up the floor. It was time for the remaining cabinets to go. Although there's not much holding that up. The new kitchen's going to have a massive island, so I had to get power to it through this conduit. Then it was time to remove the floor. One of my absolute least favourite jobs. The floor was so bloody hard. It took me 2 full days using this hammer drill. I got so fed up I almost broke my phone. Goodbye, old friend. I hope I never have to see you again. Before I could pour the new floor, I had to move the laundry wall that I put down in the wrong place.
Bugger!
And of course, I cut on the wrong side of the line.
That's better.
Because it was such a big area, I had professionals come in and pour my new floor. And with that down, the old sink can go.
Oh.
Ooh, you okay, bud? Do you have a concussion?
Fuck.
And finally, we're back to demolition. Here in New Zealand, old houses like mine were never insulated very well. I'm gonna fix that. Do you want a hand, or...? Oh, okay, you got it. I also discovered that quarter round is my nemesis.
Ah, damn it. Ah. Oh, fuck. Stupid.
There. Look on the bright side. At least your frustrations make for good entertainment.
Ow. Stabby.
Honestly, I should really be charging the fuck up fairy rent. Because I can't peel all the bricks off and wrap the house, I'm instead making small pockets in between each piece of wood, and using my very best safety squint. Time to put that forbidden cotton candy back in the wall. Some countries require a vapour barrier between the drywall and the insulation. We don't build like that. Instead, the barrier goes on the outside. Next up is plastering. The Neanderthal way. Like I said, learning as I go. By the end, I'd graduated to using a spoon. Since the cooktops moved, I've had to fill the old hole and remove the flue. I temporarily patched it and was going to come back to it later, but I might have forgotten about it. And the next weekend, we kind of had a storm.
Oh, that's not good. Maybe I should have done this a little sooner.
Maybe. So once it wasn't raining anymore, I got on the roof and fixed it properly. Probably should have worn a mask while repairing the inside. Finally, I could get the room painted, just in time for the professionals to turn up with my kitchen. And it is a bloody big kitchen. So with all the carcasses in, Nick and I were able to get the floor down. We're using an engineered timber called blackbutt.
Is that okay size?
No.
Gonna recut that final cut. There we go. Perfect.
It had been a long day. And then it was time for appliances. Although I'm a teacher by day, I do have a practicing license. If you're going to be doing this at home, you may need a sparky to do the wiring. Ah, bar fridge. Oh yeah, I built a bar.
Damn it.
I mean, not very well, but I built one. Next I set out to install the architraves. And then I was dealt the biggest blow so far. And for once it wasn't even my fault. Yep, it's water under the floor. I was about done at that point, I think. Ripping the floor back up again showed exactly how bad it was. And seeing as the only way out was through, I got to cleaning. This was installed by the plumber. He made right in the end, so we're good. But this chump's still got to lay the flooring. Right, now get back to it, fella. There's some spotlights that need installing. And some LEDs. Although it helps if you don't staple the cable.
Box.
Or screw in the wrong spot.
It's wood.
Twice. There you go. Lucky that was all hidden behind the fridge. Getting close to finishing touches now. A little bit of paint on the architraves and the skirts. Install the stovetop isolation switch I forgot about. Little look. Yes, I'm a Sparky, but I didn't say I was a good Sparky.
Hey, nice.
It would have been really handy to have realised that before installing the plasterboard. A tip I want to when dealing with plaster is that it doesn't matter if it's a big repair or a small one, it's the same amount of work.
Yes.
So go big and give yourself a bit of playroom. And of course can't forget about the splashback, which went without any issues at all.
Oh no! Doesn't fit. The last one doesn't fit!
Yeah, that checks out.
Well, one of them didn't stick.
It turns out weight and volume are very different things, and they're not interchangeable. And the reason that matters is that I'm trying to mix wallpaper glue. Here's another tip, give yourself plenty of overhang, because I didn't. After several, shall we say, setbacks, I started to get the feel for how-to wallpaper, and it all just sort of flowed a little bit easier. We chose a paintable textured wallpaper to go on this wall here, and I've had my arm twisted into painting a very scary colour, so let me know if you like it, or not. Then again, maybe I don't want to know if it's bad. But enough of that, do the thingy thing and put it on the wall please. And with that all done, the last thing to do is rehang the art. Oh, and sort out the LEDs in the bar, something that's going to be a lot messier than the foreman would like. So I have to somehow get power to a board that I can't access, and repair the cable. So I started with the one thing I know how to do, and that's make a mess. But unfortunately the only way forward was to rip up my lounge. I really should have thought about that when I designed the kitchen.
Why is it screwed?
I don't know man, your house. I'd expected this to be native hardwood, so I was being really careful with the demo. As it turns out though, it's just shitty old pine. With the other side revealed, I could poke my chewed cable through the wall and reattach it with fire. With that done, I yanked it back from the other side and could finally get the LED into place, in what is quite possibly the most awkward way possible. And then I could address my second fairy visit, the light switch location. Some bugger forgot to centre it, so with 11mm of shim and some jiggery pokery, it was in the right place again. At which point I could finally say, I am done. Until I changed my mind on the next thing. As a reminder, this is what it used to look like, and here's where we are now. And I need 29 fuck-up fairy visits. I'm pretty happy with that, really. What do you reckon? Shall I start charging the fairy rent? As always, cheers for sticking around, team.